Are you looking for the best Sony vlogging cameras? In this video we will look at some of the 6 best Sony vlogging cameras on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Sony ZV2. This is Sony's best point-and-shoot camera for vlogging, and it's been a huge success since its release for good reasons. It can record top-quality 4K P30 video, and it comes with a fast 24-70mm f/1.8 lens with stabilization, flip screen, and the eye-tracking autofocus is simply excellent. You won't have to worry about the camera getting out of focus, and it even comes with a cool product showcase mode for when you're doing a product review and need to change the focus constantly between you and the product, and it works pretty well. It's also one of the few point-and-shoot to come with external mic input. But something that vloggers will love is that the built-in microphone is directional, so it really doesn't sound bad at all without an external mic plugged in. The camera is able to pick up your voice clearly over the background noise, which is great if you think carrying a microphone around is annoying, like me. The software also makes everything about vlogging easier. You can upload your files easily through a wireless connection with your smartphone, and you can record in vertical mode and get the format that you need for social media automatically. And finally, it also has slow motion and time-lapse modes. Number 2. Sony Alpha ZV E10. The Alpha ZV E10 is Sony's reimagination of the ZV1 in a mirrorless body. This means that you get basically the same software as the ZV1 with the same 4K P30 recording quality. So, like with the ZV1, the autofocus works pretty well with its eye tracking and product showcase modes. You can record in vertical mode for easy upload to your smartphone, and it has slow motion and time-lapse modes. The main differences are that it comes in a bigger size, with a bigger sensor, making it better for low light, and has an interchangeable lens. However, one big disadvantage is the lack of in-body stabilization. This means that you'll have to get a lens with optical stabilization if you want to use it for vlogging. These lenses are more expensive and heavier than normal lenses, and their result is not as smooth as using OIS together with in-body stabilization. To compensate, the camera has electronic stabilization, which is not bad, but it adds a crop of 1.44x to the image. This makes the frame smaller when activated, which is not so good when vlogging and trying to give viewers a wide field of view. This is the camera I'd recommend if you plan to upgrade to better lenses with OIS in the long run and want better image quality in low light and a more intense bokeh, blur background, effect. But if you're looking for the ultimate vlogging camera and don't care about any extras, the ZV1 will be a better option for you thanks to the stabilization. Number 3. Sony A7S3. The Sony A7S3 is a high-end full-frame mirrorless camera made for recording video like no other can. The first thing that you'll notice is the capacity of recording in 4K at 120 frames per second. This allows you to get ultra-slow motion 4K video, and it's something you can't find in almost any consumer camera. But the ability to record 4K isn't the most impressive thing about it. It's the best mirrorless for low light thanks to its full frame but also due to its amazing image quality at high ISOs. And for vlogging, it comes with all the features that need: flip screen, external mic jack, the best autofocus in the market, and top-end image stabilization. Its 5-axis image stabilization can be used together with a lens with optical stabilization, which is already enough to deliver smooth videos. However, if you also use electronic stabilization, you will get basically the same result as using a gimbal. The compact ZV1 also has electronic stabilization, but the added crop factor is a big deal that will make it unusable for most vloggers. However, since the A7S3 is a full-frame camera, you have a large frame available for cropping, so the result is much more useful. Number 4. Sony RX17. The Sony RX17 might not be targeted specifically at vloggers, but it's still an excellent little camera for filmmakers. But vloggers can use it too and feel very comfortable with it. The main things this one has that the ZV1 doesn't is an electronic viewfinder, a flash, and 20 frames per second burst speeds, versus 11 frames per second in the ZV1. These are features that any photographer and filmmaker that is used to be behind the camera will want. The viewfinder allows you to see clearly through the lens without worrying about the LCD screen lacking brightness during the day, and it also gives you more information to get the perfect exposure, /. It comes with good image stabilization, which lets you record while moving without making your video shaky. It has an external mic input and a flip screen. These are the basic things you need for vlogging. Everything else is just extra, so it might be a good trade-off if you're looking to do more than just vlogging. What seals the deal is that it can record 4K video and that has a good maximum lens aperture for a compact camera, f/1.8 at wide. This lets the camera capture more light indoors or on foggy days. It might not have the vertical video mode, product showcase autofocus, and the built-in microphone isn't as good for vlogging, but it's a better machine for things that aren't vlogging. So it is a camera we recommend for users who want a little camera to travel with, take pictures and more. Number 5. Sony A6400. The Sony A6400 is one of those cameras that with one simple change would have been perfect for vlogging. It only lacks internal stabilization, so in a lot of ways, it's very similar to the Alpha ZV E10. The good thing is that it has one of the best autofocus you'll be able to find right now. It's extremely accurate, and it's the fastest autofocus available. Its 4K recording quality is comparable to cameras that are near the $3,000 mark, which is really far from this camera's price. It is lightweight, has an APS-C sensor, has a flip-up screen, and has an external microphone port. However, bear in mind that if you use a shotgun microphone with this camera, it will cover the flip-up LCD screen and you won't be able to use it. If you want to use this type of mic, you will need a rig that allows you to set the mic to the side, instead of using the camera's hot shoe. But overall, its features make it a really good option for vloggers, and there's no way I can't complete this list without it. Number 6. Sony A6100. This interchangeable lens camera gets you decent battery life for a mirrorless. It's also lighter, has a touchscreen, and you can find it for a price below the RX100s, without losing too much of the quality. You can record in 4K and 1080p at 120 frames per second for slow motion, so you won't be losing much of the recording capabilities for going for a lower-priced mirrorless. And with the Sony A6100, you can also take advantage of the Alpha lineup's excellent eye-tracking autofocus for a lower price, which has always been my favorite feature about them. If you have a bigger budget, then I'd recommend you to get the A6400. It's very similar, but it will give you a higher resolution of the EVF and environmental sealing to protect your camera from rain and dirt.